Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Lighthouse. My name is Light. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing. Excuse me. I hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. Excuse me. I hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. I'm well. I'm resting, rejuvenating, relaxing. I've been absolutely exhausted. I'm just, like I said, absolutely exhausted, getting rest. I feel like I can't sleep enough. Wake up and do my work or go to work, come back and go back to sleep and continue. And that's it, rinse and repeat. As always, I'd like to thank my angels, my archangels, my guides, my deities, my ancestors, the divine, for allowing me to be a crystal clear channel. So this reading is going to be for our wisdom keepers and peeper. They said peeping Tom. Maybe somebody's a peeping Tom. Wisdom Keepers is the name of this deck. The Wisdom Keepers, for those of us seeking wisdom, enlightenment, knowledge, information. Okay, so I'm going to be reading strictly from the book. It says somebody strictly dickly. For anybody who's wondering, maybe somebody thinks you're lesbians. Let's be honest. Okay, so braids are significant. They said Cobra Kai, throat chakra is significant. The bull at the eyebrow is significant. And then they said, I'm not only the client, I'm the player president. Every time I see the Native American cards. His cheeks, there's something that said Rosy cheeks. Maybe her name is Rosie. Hi, Aunt Rosie. I had an Aunt Rosie. Okay, the gift of teamwork. Number 44 is significant. This card is about teamwork. They said teamwork makes the dream work, and then they said the dream team. Okay, gift is teamwork. The shadow is interference. The city is synarchy. The programming partner is number 24. And you'll have to know what 24 is in the book. My wisdom story. My mother abandoned us when I was little. Though my father wanted to do right by his 5 children, he couldn't. He often got overwhelmed and disappeared for days, blowing his money on gambling and leaving me, the oldest, in charge of my younger siblings. I had no choice but to grow up fast and accept more responsibility than a boy should have to do. Obviously, this resonates with some people, you know. And then they said emotional incest. As a young man, I wrote off all women, entered the workforce, and naturally gravitated towards positions of authority. They said Detroit Pistons. And then somebody's pissed off. They said the highest levels of positivity because you decided to heal yourself. People tended to trust me, and I preferred to be at the helm, even though they said Ed Helms, The Hangover, even if it was the helm of a sinking ship. Time after time, Cyndi Lauper, no matter how good time after time, and maybe that's what it is, nomads. Time after time, no matter how good a job or organization looked on the outside, I managed to misjudge it. My higher-ups either disappeared or dropped the ball. My staff rarely knew what to do, and I'd be left picking up the slack. Then I'd go through it all over again somewhere else. I saw the same mess everywhere, in politics, in religion, in the economy, in love. Leaders were abandoning the people, and people were abandoning themselves and each other, and no one seemed to care. I distrusted everyone. They said, #trust no bitch. Until one day a woman walked into my life that did care. Although she came from an indigenous background completely different from my own, there was something strangely familiar about her. I liked her smell and was immediately drawn into her world. She had an uncanny ability to trust not just the trees, rivers, and birds, but people. She helped me see the perfect irony of my life. And they said, you light up my life. She's helped me to see the perfect irony of my life and how my childhood story was repeatedly interfering with my life, but in different disguises. As soon as I saw the pattern, it began to change. My distrustful heart opened, and for the first time in my life, I let a woman into my heart. As I surrendered to our intimacy, I developed quite a nose for people. More and more kindred spirits enter my life. Thank you for my soul family finding me and finding each other. Thank you for our new tribe, our new gifts, our new abilities. They said it takes, they show me the community card in the Kipper deck, which is number 39. It takes a village, they said. For the first time in my life, I let a woman into my heart. As I surrendered to our intimacy, I developed quite a nose for people. More and more kindred spirits enter my life. Soon I was invited to work and live outside of a community, see, community card, that was capable of synchronistic and seamless forms of collaboration. They said synchronized swimming is significant to Olympics. Maybe somebody's an Olympic hopeful, or hoped to be, or used to hope to be. Soon I was invited to work and live inside of a community that was capable of synchronistic and seamless forms of collaboration. That is their soul tribe. I had never known this kind of joy or teamwork. All participants contribute what they love most. Everyone shared the burden of responsibility, and much more often than not, things went smoothly. It said smoothly, don't you fret. Now I know the experience of belonging. Now I know the true experience of belonging. My gift to you. I come to remind you that you always attract the relationships that teach you exactly what you need to know in order to grow. The more you trust that people are in your life for a reason, the more you learn. The more you trust that people are in your life for a reason, the more you'll be able to learn the rational and relational reasons you need to learn. I'm just chopping. It said chopped and screwed. I'm chopping and screwing this paragraph. I come to remind you that you always attract the relationships that teach you exactly what you need to know in order to grow. The more you trust that people are in your life for a reason, the more you'll be able to learn the relational lessons you need to learn, and the better your judgment will be when it's time to choose new partners, friends, and collaborators. I want you to trust your instincts. Start smelling the people in your life. They say, smell me, feel me. 718 is significant. 347646. Excuse me. I want you to trust your instincts. Start smelling the people in your life. Ask yourself, who are my true allies? You have the potential to experience more trust, harmony, and teamwork in groups than you can possibly imagine. When you found your true team, your destiny will naturally and magically unfold. Questions for contemplation. Do you have difficulty trusting people? Do you keep them at arm's length? Do you keep running into the same unhealthy relational dynamics? Are your instincts often, air quotes, off? What old relationships are interfering most with your new ones? Think of a time when you experienced or witnessed teamwork. Draw a map of your current relationship. Indicate who your true allies are. Who do you trust? Who don't you trust? Be honest. Take a look at the people you struggle with most in your life. If they were here to teach you something, what would it be? Well, you know what I have to say about me and my karmic partners, my IE family. My karma's paid in full with you guys. The next Wisdom Keeper card is number 27, altruism. Altruistic, to give to others simply for the sake of giving, activates healthy currents deep within your body. Gift is altruism. It said Native American is significant. Somebody makes pottery. Somebody makes bandanas, handkerchiefs. Somebody does clay jewelry, makes clay jewelry, crochet bags, colorful espadrilles, and colorful they said colorful colors of the diaspora. Gift, altruism, shadow, selfishness, city, selflessness. Programming partner is number 28, which just so happens to be totality. Okay, let's read. They said, what have we learned today, kids? Sesame Street is significant. My wisdom story. My people look down upon selfishness. Status and respect were earned through generous giving and personal sacrifice, not through self-centered accumulating and individual achievement. Service to self will no longer be tolerated. I used to say, and that person used to find that so funny. Is it funny now? 957 is significant. Look at the alignment in the universe. My people look down upon selfishness. Status and respect were earned through generous giving and personal sacrifice, not through self-centered accumulating and individual achievement. They said ID channel is significant. And then they said true crime is significant. From the moment I could hold something in my hands, I learned to give it away. On birthdays, I gave gifts to my guests. And then they said impersonating. When participating in ceremony, I gave gifts to my teacher and those around me. When I became a young woman, I served my family willingly and without complaint. But there were times when I was expected to give and I felt taken advantage of and disrespected. Even though I felt angry and resentful inside, I gave anyway, because that's what good community members did. Sometimes I found myself giving because I secretly wanted something from someone else, their respect, their love, their admiration, their gratitude. Well, let me stop this right here. And I say that is people pleasing. And people pleasing comes from an unhealed inner child. I will continue. It said, I digress. EYE, digress. Once I worked for several days preparing a meal for the whole village, when what I really wanted to be doing was swimming in the river with my brothers. My self-sacrifice seemed to go unnoticed and unappreciated. Without realizing, I pounded my frustrations Without realizing it, I pounded my frustrations wow. TT is significant. Tortillas and Mexican food is coming up because this is the third time I'm attempting to, maybe somebody said it's the third time I'm trying to reach you. They said the number of you have dialed has been disconnected. Once I worked for several days preparing a meal for the whole village when what I really wanted to do was swimming in the river with my brothers. My self-sacrifice seemed to go unnoticed and unappreciated. Without realizing it, I pounded my frustrations into the tortillas that I had made. When some of the villagers got ill after the meal, I just felt horrible. I was about to confess to the elders that my self-centered heart had poisoned the food. My grandmother, a master gardener, stood up and told the community that she hadn't properly tended to the corn and that the belly aches were her fault. Personally, I don't eat from people that I don't know. And I'm not going to lie, we all ate from people, used to eat from people. Some people don't ever, some people never did, some people don't anymore, like me. I used to eat from people that I thought were my friend. Are we going out to lunch? Okay, cool, let's eat together, or let's order something. Or they bring something from home for everybody that's like individually wrapped or whatever. Or, you bring food from home and for everybody at school or work, and you have like a potluck. I don't do that shit no more. You don't know what people put in their food. And negative energy can make you sick. As an empath, when I feel negative energy, I expel it through my stomach. It makes me vomit. Collects in my stomach because that's where your intuition is located, in your gut. As I was about to confess to the elders that my self-centered heart had poisoned the food, my grandmother, a master gardener, stood up and told the community that she hadn't properly tended to the corn. They said, Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. And that the belly aches were her fault. Then she winked at me and pointed me in the direction of the river. That evening, as I floated and looked up at the moon, I realized that my grandmother had taught me the meaning of true altruism. My gift to you. It is time to look honestly at your relationship to giving. Are you giving from your heart, or are you giving away your power? Are you giving without attachment or with a hidden agenda? What did you learn during the first 7 years of your life about selfishness and selflessness? I ask you to be intuitive in your giving. Give to the causes and to people who are fertile, who can make use of the gifts they receive. If you are feeling angry or resentful, do not give. They said, remember, when you give, remember to give cheerful. Capleton. I ask you to be intuitive in your giving. Give to the people and causes who are fertile, who can, they said, Empress energy, Goddess energy, who can make use of your gifts they receive. If you are feeling angry or resentful, do not give. Not yet. Wait until your heart opens. Practice random acts of kindness wherever possible. And since your sincere altruism will bring more joy and abundance into your life than you could possibly imagine. Yeah, I don't eat people. I don't eat from people whose energy is bad because the energy is going into the food. Conversely, you can tell when people really love their job because you can taste it in the food. You can taste the love in the food. Questions for contemplation. Where are you sacrificing yourself in ways that are not healthy for you? Where are you giving with strings? Have you ever given too much of yourself and then resented it later? How can you better care for yourself so you can give from a full cup? Where and with whom do you find it most difficult to set healthy limits? And then they said set is one of the Egyptian letters. Where and with whom do you tend towards selfishness? If you weren't feeling so guilty, what might you do differently or do less of? When have you felt the most selfless in your actions? What are your feelings? What are you genuinely, when have you felt the most selfless in your actions? What are you genuinely feeling grateful for right now? Write it down in your journal. Like I tell you guys, keep a gratitude journal. Do something nice for someone today without them knowing it. It's good for your health. Let's see. I was gonna read two other cards, but Spirit said no, save it for the next reading because I don't want the videos to be long. But intimacy and patience are words that come up. I said, "Into me I see," and then "Patience" is a song with Nas and Damian Marley. "Distant Relatives" is the album. Continue on your path. Continue doing what you must to get rid of everything that doesn't serve your path. So, serve your higher power. Rid yourself of, they said, negative, unhealthy habits, toxins, people, places, things. Ground yourself. Pray, meditate, write things down, be grateful. They said, eat, drink, and be merry. Yeah, live your life for you. You're only here to live. You're only here to you are only here. You are here to experience the 3D. You are here to enjoy the 3D experience. You are here to expand your consciousness. You are here to live in your power. Stand in your power. Live in your truth. You guys be well. Enjoy the rest of your week and enjoy the rest of this beautiful weather. See you guys next video.